Happy birthday, Bilbo! I'm so excited.
I can't believe you made all this food.
I know. Me
And
too.
this has been 3 days of her constantly making food. It's been 3 days.
Uh-huh.
And I'm so excited to actually eat some of it now.
Me too. I'm glad that it's not all too old.
By the way, beer and wine
And sherry.
and sherry.
There's white wine and red wine. Okay, let me do a quick overview of all the food. I'm gonna do breakfast in a separate segment because we're hungry. So first meal breakfast will be sausage, bacon, and tomatoes with mushroom toast and coffee. Ridiculous. Second breakfast is the buttered scones right here. I'm including raspberry jam with it because I have a lot of raspberry jam, and that would have breakfast tea with it. And then Elevensies is this collapsed Bilbo seed cake, and that would have orange tea with it. And then Luncheon would be the infamous fish and chips that Samwise loves, the amber ale to accompany it. And then for afternoon tea, the apple tarts, which are the little bundles around the scones with the raspberry jam, as mentioned in the Hobbit. And that would be accompanied by mead, which I didn't get any mead, so I used blood and honey beer instead. Because I like it.
That's good.
And mint tea, because it's afternoon tea. And then dinner is the pork pie and salad, which is in the fridge, and cabbage and sausage soup, and brown ale. And then the lamb stew with the mince pies and cheese and a charcuterie board, which I didn't put together, and that's in the fridge. And that would go with the milk stout beer. The red wine would go with that. And then the sherry goes with the mince pies. And the Chardonnay, which are these two, goes with Bilbo's birthday cake.
I am so hungry.
Where do you want to start?
You decide. What do we eat first? Do we go in order of the day?
Sure, let's go in order of the day. That sounds like a good plan.
Okay, so like first breakfast?
Well, which we're not doing. So second breakfast, so the scones.
Scones. Do you want a scone?
I would
Just
love a
whole
scone.
Entire scone.
We could split a scone. So we've already tried these. You can try it with the raspberry jam. I made sure to put extra in there.
I'll try it with and without.
Mmm, very dry.
I'm gonna dip it in the jam.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. Because we have something else that'll go with the jam anyway,
Yeah.
so.
I'd go with the jam.
Yeah, and we would normally have tea with that. And then.
Normally on an average day, we'd have tea with this.
So the next thing is the seed cake. And I've been very nervous about trying it.
I'm sure it will taste good.
I hope so. Ooh, give that a smell.
Ooh, that smells good.
Right?
Do I
Smells.
have to cut my own seed cake?
No, I'm gonna cut this in half.
Oh, okay. I was just kidding.
All right, so this would be for second breakfast.
All right. Oh, second breakfast tastes good.
That's surprisingly good.
That's delectable.
You don't have to bring that up every time I think something's tasty.
Kimmy said that like literally 9 years ago. One time. That's delectable. You said it like you had an epiphany.
Because it was so good. I don't even remember what it was, but I remember being really struck by how good it was. Oh my gosh. This is delectable.
Mm-hmm.
This is for Elevensies. So this would be Elevensies.
Oh, so actually not second breakfast?
Mm-mm.
So we skipped second breakfast.
Scones are second breakfast.
Oh.
You skipped breakfast.
What's first breakfast?
First breakfast is the sausage, bacon, tomatoes with the side of the mushroom toast, which I didn't make because we were hungry.
Right.
So we rushed to do this because it was time.
We did not rush anything.
I rushed. And then second breakfast would be the buttered scones. So really I should have had the butter out, but it was sitting out too long. And they're also better when they're warm in my opinion, but that's just me. And then the Elevensies is the seed cake. Gosh, this is so good.
So at about this point in the day, do the hobbits get a little thirsty?
They do.
Okay, good.
Well, we would normally be having tea and coffee with all of this, but
Yeah.
we're rushing. So next would be the homemade hand-fried fish and chips that would be paired with the amber ale.
Well, we don't have any homemade, hand-fried fish and chips. So...
Listen. Turn it on! John, turn it on! No!
That's
John, no!
Oh my god! We
it
all
good?
saw what really happened. They've been in the refrigerator.
Yeah, we didn't warm them up.
Fries in the refrigerator.
It's cold.
Gross.
It's just cold.
It's
shame.
just here. You know what? Cold fry.
Ew.
I can see how it would taste good warm though.
Yeah, decent. Like actual good fries. I had never seen that
fry.
brand before. My own making.
You know what? Yeah.
Okay, next, let's
I had
move
a
on.
second cold fry.
Let's move on to the apple tarts. It is now afternoon tea.
This one looks good. Scrumptious.
Scrumptious.
Scrumptious apple tart.
So these, I shouldn't have folded the dough all the way over, but that's okay. For my first attempt again, I feel pretty good about this.
I'm gonna just go ahead and assume that we're gonna finish
Yeah.
this off, this raspberry jam off.
Yeah, go nuts. We have like half a jar left. These are good hot and cold.
It's raw.
It's raw in the middle.
It's raw.
Oh my gosh, this is so good.
It's good with it's really good with the raspberry jam.
John, we're hobbits. This is all I've ever wanted. I just wanted to eat in silly costumes. You know what I really want? I see the judgment in your eyes.
No.
And I don't appreciate it, but I don't blame you. Normally I would be wanting to do this with like
I'm not in a silly costume.
our friends. I know. I thought about earlier I was thinking that I should be like, why sir, what funny costume you have on today? On the greatest of all days, Bilbo's birthday.
Yeah, you would have gotten this reaction from me.
I don't have anything for this drink-wise.
Well,
I realized I double pointed to the beers. I'm just gonna go back into the amber. So all the recipes that I used for this came from one website.
really?
Mm-hmm. It's called the Feast of Starlight. And it's this woman who makes recipes based off like different movies and games and stuff like that. Now that we've enjoyed a wonderful and restful afternoon tea, it is now time for dinner. And dinner is this pork pie, which will be very interesting, and the cabbage stew. So I had a little mishap with this guy.
So what's in the pork pie? Everything else I can pretty much see. It's like scones, apple tart, it's got apples in it.
Right.
Bread, you know.
Right.
Well, I mean, I assume it's
Pork.
pork.
And like onions and carrots and stuff like that. And this is called a hot water crust.
Okay.
And I was supposed to put in chicken stock mixed with gelatin. And when I tried to inject the pie with it, it spewed out and spilled all over our stove. I just flooded my entire... It is 2:30 in the morning. I hate everything.
Ooh. I mean,
Give me your plate.
Oh.
And it's supposed to be eaten cold.
What?
Isn't that weird? Brits are weird with your food.
I feel like a kid that just got something put on his plate, put on his plate, and he's like this. He's like,
So again, I'm making something I've never actually seen before. Here's a knife, sweetie.
oh, do I need to cut it?
Just in case you want to.
Oh, I'll just leave it. I think I can fork it. Let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Okay. I can see your gleeful expression of peripheral vision.
Even though my crust is not, I don't think it's baked all the way through because it's real thick on the sides. And I don't,
This is interesting.
that's raw, as Paul would say. I love it.
This pork is like,
Cold?
it's weird. Cold meat, I'm just trained to assume is like uncooked.
Mm-hmm.
But it's cooked.
Mm-hmm.
It's cold.
I tested it. Like, I took the temperature multiple times because I was very nervous about it being raw. But it's good.
It's raw.
It's raw. Well, the crust is raw. So if you want to pass over the cabbage soup. So in this, I meant to add mushrooms, but I forgot. But it's cabbage and like 2 or 3 different kinds of sausage and carrots and stuff like that.
How is it?
I just want to eat the meat out of it. I hate the cabbage.
Yeah.
Way too much cabbage.
That's a lot of cabbage.
So much cabbage. I was supposed to add a 1/3 cup cream to the soup. Cream with cabbage?
I don't
know. So I messed this one up, but valiant effort. So now we've enjoyed dinner.
Yep.
Couple hours have passed. We're hungry again.
Time for supper.
Supper!
Which is different than dinner.
Different than dinner. It happens at 9 o'clock at night. And in this one, I have made a lamb stew and mincemeat pies. And I was also going to have a charcuterie board with like meats and cheeses and pickles and dried fruits and stuff. But we're not actually hobbits and we just can't. We can't with all this.
Sorry.
Yeah. This has lamb, bacon, potatoes, turnips, carrots, and shallots.
Oh, you didn't get any on you, did you?
Oh, it landed on my napkin.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Lamb's kind of weird, huh?
I haven't had lamb in a very long time, but yeah, it is a little weird.
I don't know if I've ever had lamb before. And that's what this beer is for.
Oh, the darker one. That makes sense.
Okay. It's really not as dark as it should be.
I don't like anything darker than like this.
This isn't bad though, right? The amber?
No. Oh man, I've had those like pitch black beers before though, like those porters and it's like you're drinking wood.
You're drinking bread. It's so good.
Did you know that actually there is a difference between dinner and supper?
Oh, and what is that?
Supper is apparently when you have a meal in the evening at home, like a casual dining experience. It's
Supper
like,
is?
Yeah, supper.
Okay.
It's like lunch, but just in the evening. Dinner is a more formal meal that also takes place at the same time, but that's like if you have guests over or, you know, maybe it's some sort of event like a wedding or something. That's more what dinner is reserved for. Yeah.
Is served. So, with our supper, we also get to enjoy mince pies.
Awesome.
And on these, I put little designs of oak leaves with either an acorn or apples. So what's inside of these are raisins, dried raisins, obviously raisins are dried, raisins, dried cranberries, dried cherries, dates, apples, which I used those cinnamon apples that were left over from the tarts.
I was about to say, it's a lot of dried fruit.
It's mostly dried fruit. And walnuts. There's supposed to be dried currants in here, but I couldn't find them. And then like a shortbreadish kind of crust. Yeah.
Very interesting.
And what we enjoy with these is the sherry.
Oh, really?
I'm gonna give that a whiff.
Ooh.
Very Frasier of
Okay.
us. I've been looking forward to this because they always drink sherry on Frasier.
Just care for a scotch now?
Yes, actually, no, I'm in a sherry mood tonight.
Sherry? What an intriguing idea.
So the crust itself is not terribly flavorful. I don't know if that's my fault or just the recipe or what. But I think it's nice that it isn't super flavorful because it lets the inside really be the flavor. And what's so good about the inside is that it's all those fruits with walnuts and cinnamon, nutmeg, some other stuff, and brandy.
There's brandy in this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get drunk off mincemeat pies.
The time has come for us to enjoy the birthday cake. Happy birthday to... Okay,
Let's
I'm
just cut
kidding.
the cake.
So this is a sponge
Bilbo's
cake.
not around.
It has strawberry jam, strawberries, and homemade whipped cream, which I'm very proud of. Want to give me your plate? This is the biggest piece of cake in the world.
Well, this is what I was saving room for. Good job, you did it. Flap. Flap.
It's a big flap, huh?
Paul Hollywood would be ecstatic to see all these layers.
Paul Hollywood. Kimmy Wolf is excited. I'm
Yeah.
ecstatic to see it. Oh,
Who cares what Paul Hollywood thinks?
get the blue glasses, if you will.
Oh.
This is Chardonnay, and it's a white wine, and that pairs with our cake. Ooh.
Oh, I'm already
Oh my gosh. I just got done, finished making this, which is why we were rushing so much to get everything on the table, because we
good.
were excited about the cake.
This is good. You will be excited. Mm-hmm.
I made this.
You did.
I made this from scratch.
Yeah, Paul and Pooh, or whoever their names are, they would be really ecstatic about this.
Paul and Pooh.
What's her name?
Prue.
Prue. I couldn't remember.
Paul and Pooh.
You know, the hosts of Great British Baking Show, Paul and Pooh.
You know, Winnie the Pooh. So next time we can have any friends over, maybe I'll make a cake.
Yeah. Make this cake.
This is like the perfect say goodbye to summer cake. It tastes like the last bit of summer, you know?
I thought you were going to say the perfect say goodbye cake. Like, I'm just like, okay, here's your cake. You can leave now.
You know, in The Hobbit, that is when Bilbo says goodbye at his birthday party.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in the movie. I don't remember in the book or
Wow,
not.
you brought it around full circle. I think he does that in the book, too.
I thought so.
Yeah, he does his disappearing act.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I
And
just
his
didn't want
birthday
to.
party.
I didn't want
It's
to
just
be
in the movie,
too.
it happens in like, 2 minutes in the scene. In the book, it's like, it takes forever. I'm so glad we have the movies.
John's a real fan.
I'm a fan of the movies. I'll be honest.
Yeah, the movies. I mean, the movies are what got me into Lord of the Rings. But I've been listening to the Lord of the Rings trilogy on Audible.
Uh-huh.
How perfect would it be if they were sponsoring this video? They're not. But it's read by a guy who he was able to write a one-man show of Lord of the Rings. Like, that's like his big thing.
Wow.
I think his name is Richard Inglis.
That's pretty cool. If we ate like this for 40 days
Uh-huh.
and had all the food painstakingly detailed,
Mm-hmm.
and we sang every day and danced on the tables and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and it was all documented, it still wouldn't be as long as Tom Bombadil's house segment in Fellowship of the Ring.
It's not boring. His wife, Goldwaith, or whatever her name is.
Who?
Golden girl.
She sing.
Goldie.
She have a song.
Yep.
Yeah. Then I skipped her part. Oh. I remember. Now that you said that was wine. But I was expecting water.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
It's one thing if it's like Sprite or something.
I drank it like you would drink, like have a gulp of water.
I thought you went at that awfully hard.
So what did you think of your experience?
When I first thought of it, I just kept like looking up recipes and I kept thinking, oh, I would love to do a Hobbit Day feast. That'd be really fun.
Yeah.
I really wanted to like make a whole day's worth of meals, Hobbit Day of meals, and marathon Lord of the Rings and like eat them while watching the movies. And one of my closest friends messaged me. So my friend had gone to another friend's house and her friend's mom had cooked like a whole day's worth of like fun foods and stuff for them to eat, like breakfast, second breakfast, all the Hobbit meals.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, right? And I don't know if she like went this hard at it or if she just fixed like whatever, we eat here. But my friend mentioned how much fun that was and how special that memory was. And when she said that, I was just like, I should just do it. I really should just do it. And I should make it into a video So I'm not just like cooking for myself privately, being all weird about it. But I am hoping that next Hobbit Day, next September 22nd, maybe I can do this with like some friends, whether they're local or international friends. It's just, you know, the pandemic is still happening, so that's why we couldn't have anyone over. So John ordered me the Hobbit cookbook, which is not from like the movies and the House of Tolkien and all that, but it's very Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
But it was another fan who like put together all these recipes, and so I got that after I'd already planned all of this. So I'll be able to like play with that too and kind of figure out what's good, and then, you know, be able to do that next year. I'm also thinking about doing another one in March of next year, because the day that Sauron fell is March 25th, which is the day after my birthday. And I thought it'd be really fun to do another feast like this, but with recipes I can find inspired by other races from Middle-earth. So like dwarven recipes and elvish recipes. Like I can make lembas bread, right? And like the Ent drought.
Lembas bread?
Lembas bread. And Ent drought, which is the drink that Merry and Pippin drank from the Ents, and it makes them taller. The woman who did all these recipes, which by the way, Feast of Starlight, brilliant. She also has a concoction for that too. She does like different drinks and such. So what was your favorite thing?
I like the strawberry cake.
The seed cake?
The seed cake. I like the two cakes.
Yeah.
I also like the scone.
You like the scone?
Yeah.
I need to work on the scone some more. I think there's a lot I can learn.
Once I had the scone with the raspberry jam, I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
It was good.
And then the apple tart.
I like the apple tart, but I think there could be more apples in it.
So you liked all the sweet things. Which makes sense, because honestly, all the savory things like are not things that you like.
Yeah.
I'm not like
a big
sausage.
Sausage or cabbage guy. Or
Stew.
Lamb. Or stew. Or meat pies.
Yeah, you weren't a huge fan of that, huh?
Or... I mean, it was okay. It was just kind of weird.
Yeah, it's different, right?
Yeah.
I think my favorites, I'm most surprised and pleased by the cake. The strawberry cake, I did not expect it to turn out as well as it did. I really thought it was going to be a problem.
It's not dry. It's not too wet. Consistency is good.
You got the layers. See, you got the layers.
It's a little dark on the bottom on this one, but this cake, the bottom cake, took longer to cook because it was a little bit bigger. But I do think it could have done with more cream in the layers, like in between. I'm also like weirdly pleased by the pork pie.
Yeah, you did like the pork pie.
I did like the pork pie. I thought that was like ruined. I thought that was over. So as long, like we haven't thrown up yet, I don't feel sick yet, I think it's okay. The lamb stew, I like a lot more than I thought I would. The cabbage stew, big no thanks. The scones and the tarts, I'm very excited about improving on. Like I really think that those could be like staples that we start having more often. And the seed cake too. Well, thank you for suffering with me these last few days trying to pull together Hobbit Day.
It has been constant. Now,
Dishes.
The Hobbits never talk about the dishes.
They don't talk about the dishes.
They talk about...
I don't appreciate that.
First breakfast, second breakfast, elevensies. They never talk about, like, first dishes, second dishes, third dishes.
Let me know what you thought about this. Let me know if you do your own Hobbit Day celebration. I'd love to hear about it. I'd love to see pictures. Tweet at me on Twitter at KimmyKims24. Show me stuff on Instagram at KimmyKims24. And yeah, let me know what you think. Like and subscribe down below. Links are all in the description for the recipes and all the other stuff I mentioned in the video. And I wish you the happiest of Hobbit days.
That's delectable.